On here, so what we're going to do today is we're going to get into this machine, the Inwin 301. We're going to pull out that 120 water cooler, put in this 240 radiator and double fans, and I'll show you. Also, the way this panel comes out, you just push down a little handle in the top, and she just comes right out. It's really quite a well-made thing. And hinges at the bottom. So what we're going to do is take this little 120 radiator and fan out, and that cooler. I don't mind the Corsair, but I don't like the way it's mounted. The plate in the back that goes behind the motherboard support and reinforcement for the cooling block, I don't like the way it's designed. Actually, one screw hole didn't line up. It's really pretty incredible. So I've been using the Uphere, the same one that's in here, the one that's up in here. That cooler, that's the one right here. And I've been running these things constantly for quite some time, and they really do the job. Also, what I like about this graphics card, it's got a full backing plate, which is kind of cool for the price, you know. Anyway, we're going to get to work on taking this thing apart and putting it back together. Alright guys, so you get 240 radiator fan, you get the CPU block, cooler block, you get two blue LED fans, which I like blue, it's my favorite color, and a bag full of mounting screws, hardware, backing plates, and some thermal paste. I use my own good thermal paste, I don't like that. And here's the detailed instruction manual. I was looking online, a lot of guys who bought these couldn't figure it out, but if you got any experience putting these things together, you don't really need the manual. Just look at everything, it's common sense. It's really simple. The backing plate goes behind this, on the other side of the motherboard. These have to line up with the correct screw holes, and you have to put the spring-loaded screws and spacers on. That's it. Alright guys, I'll be back. I'm going to take this back off of this one and take it apart. What's cool is it has a good cutout behind the motherboard, so it's easy to work on. Alright guys, I'll be back. Alright, so here's the parts inventory basically. Screws from the backing plate, spring loaded, spacers, radiator mounting screws, fan mounting screws. A couple of splitters come with it, a nice cloth quality cable, and we got to get in here and pull this guy out. This comes out on a frame, so got to get this frame out, got to get this old cooler off of here, and the backing plate around the back. Alright guys? Okay, and I'm catching up to The Walking Dead, yesterday's episode. Alright, out for now. Hey guys, so the old cooler is out, over there on the table. The new cooler is going in slowly. Alright, so the radiator's here, brackets here, the rest of this stuff needs to go on. That's the mounting stuff, and then that's all gonna go back in there. Alright guys, we'll be back. Alright guys, so we got the fans mounted, the radiator mounted in the bracket, everything's set up there. So we just got to turn this thing over, get the mount hooked up for the CPU, and then get the splitter on the fans, get this in the CPU block plugged into the CPU header, and I think we're all set. Then route these cables a little better. Alright guys, so we got the backing plate on there, got the bolts going through. I'm going to have to tape that so it stays when I flip it over. I'm going to tape it up, and I'll remove the tape after it's all tightened up. But it fits nice, no problems. So we'll keep going. Cable management back here not so bad, I just got to tighten it up a little bit. Looks pretty good. Alright guys. So I got her all taped up so we can flip it over and the bolts and the plate won't drop out. And put the spacers and then the springs loaded and the cooling block, and we should be all set. Famous last words. Alright guys, I'll be back. So you see we got the 4 posts coming through. You got to put the spacers on there and then the header and the spring. But this is an incredibly well made case. The thing weighs a ton. It's so solid. It's incredible. And you see it's tight. There's no real room once you get everything in there. You got to have some nimble fingers, dude. Take the plastic protector off the bottom of this. Although sometimes it's if you're not sure if the spacing is right, you leave the plastic on, put some thermal paste on there just a little bit, tighten it all down, pull it up and take a look on the plastic, see how much it spread, how it did. You know, if you got a big gap and it's not spreading, it's not good. And then you can just pull it off, not make a mess, and start reseating things and see what's going on. Alright guys, here we go. I got two of them and I had to put a block under here to keep the screws up and the pressure on so I could press the spring-loaded nuts on there. But we're getting it. You gotta get creative when you do these things. Technically there's no rules, just make sure everything's working and flush and tight and correct. And you gotta figure out how to do it, that's all. Common sense and luck. Alright guys, so she's in. So what I had to do to get this to work, check this out. I had to put this box under there to keep the pressure on these bolts. But now they're all nice and tight and everything's where they belong and seated. Well, this one can be turned a little because it's not seated exactly in the spot. But that's what you got to do. You got to get creative, you know. Guys, the toughest part of this installation was the nuts and bolts for the cooler block and getting those cables in there. Right in the CPU header and CPU fan splitter. Crazy. Alright. So she's all together. We're going to give her a smoke test before I really tighten down these cables and get some management going. But everything's in and looking good. Clearances are good on the CPU cooler block. Everything else looks good. So let's check it out. Guys, she's all done. CPU temperature's way down. 30 at BIOS, which BIOS usually is a little bit warmer. But she's all done. I got to do some cable management. The back one okay, but the front here is not so good. Not everyone's case to do stuff, but she looks good. Temperatures are really good. I'm going to do a stress test on her. Alright guys. Alright, so I'm running Intel stress test and temperatures are good. Sorry it's so dark in here. It's been raining all day. It's nice and dreary. Alright guys. So she's staying at now she's up to 50 centigrade under a huge load. And it'll drop down. That's good though.